Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The weather cut us out, and we'll just do like a part one, part two. I've done that before on my interviews, and it still worked out all right. But like we were saying at the end, yeah, Jared Goff hasn't looked so good the last few games. But your pick overall, I think the Cowboys are going to win 27-23. What's your overall pick at the end?
I'm going to. I want the Cowboys to win, but I think the Rams are going to take it 34-20.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game though, either way. And
Oh yeah.
speaking of my Patriots
I just.
too, they're taking on the Chargers. Who do you got in that one?
Oh wow, that's tough because the Patriots aren't playing as they were playing, and Philip Rivers is one guy who is not intimidated by anything Patriot.
But Tom
You know,
Brady's
like
undefeated against Philip Rivers, just to add that in there.
what's that?
Tom Brady is 7-0 against Philip Rivers. He's never
Oh,
lost.
absolutely, absolutely. But I think right now, the way Rivers has been playing and the experience he's had against Tom Brady, he's going in there facing a different Tom Brady than he's ever faced before. A Tom Brady who was nowhere near what he once was and nowhere near the guy who had beat Rivers 7 times in a row. You know, and it's almost like the Chargers are due to beat the Patriots. It's almost like, okay, you kicked our asses 7 times in a row, like we're going to do it now. So that's part of why I think the Chargers are going to, they might have a chance to win. But I tell you, man, Belichick and Brady are so calculated, dangerous, and intelligent, and capable of pulling shit out of their heads that we don't even understand.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
have Josh Gordon.
so I think tomorrow, or when is it tomorrow? Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
Patriots play
tomorrow.
Chargers tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the Patriots will win. It might be a little sloppy though,
it's going to be close. It's going to be close because Tom has
and it's
nothing
going to be
around him.
it's going to be ice cold because right now it's freezing up here, and New England's not far from where I live, and it's going to be freezing cold. And the Chargers, they don't
They like the
they're not
sunshine.
from that type of climate.
Yeah, they like the sunshine for sure. Brady ain't got
Oh
nothing
man,
around him. Josh Gordon's gone. All of his receivers. Gronk isn't Gronk no more. Robert Gronkowski is a kind of a shell of himself. It's
yep.
weird. It's weird how the NFL changes because Gronk was just on the cover of the NFL 17. Or NFL
Oh
18.
yeah, but don't rule him out completely. You know what I mean? He's got that big pad on his arm where he can catch and just kind of bowl through people. His size and just he just does still have some speed. His size though, could make a big difference, especially when you're talking 20 yards in, 20 yards out from the end zone. We can't, and it's playoff time too. If Gronk is going to get up and do anything, it's playoff. He'll do it during the playoffs.
There's two people I've always said in sports that you never bet it against. One is retired, and that's Kobe Bryant, and one still plays, and that's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And instead of Kobe Bryant, I'd say Michael Jordan because I'm a little bit older than you. So Michael Jordan was the guy who ruined my Knicks throughout the '90s many, many, many times. It was and I've been a huge Knicks fan forever. So Michael Jordan was my Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And I remember when Kobe came in as a rookie. He came out of Lower Merion High School in Philly, and he'd grown up in Italy, and he just came and played like I think his grade 11, grade 12 year, and he was just phenomenal. So I hear what you're saying.
So of course we'd have to talk about some MMA before we get off here and go finish watching
Oh,
that game.
absolutely.
John Jones, Anthony Smith. Dude, does Anthony Smith have any chance? Because I went back the other day and I watched the Vulcan Ozdemir fight. I watched it 5 times back from start to finish. And Anthony Smith lost the first 2 rounds. He lost round 1 and round 2 to Vulcan Ozdemir. Now that he did come back and win. He choked him out and won the fight in the third round by submission. But that just leaves to say I think John Jones is going to dominate with his wrestling. I don't think he's going to try to throw hands with Anthony Smith because he knows Anthony Smith is very aggressive and very weird with his strikes, if that makes sense. He throws awkward strikes at awkward angles. He throws looping attacks, and he just bites down on his mouth guard and goes at you sometimes. But I think John Jones is just going to dominate him in the wrestling department, and I see this being a fairly easy fight for John Jones.
Yeah, and for John Jones, that would be the wisest game plan I think Anthony Smith needs to work on his takedown defense like no one's ever worked on it before. Not saying it's horrible, but he needs to sharpen that, bring it to a level that we've never seen from him. I do not think that he'll completely be dominated. It's hard when we've seen so many great fighters go up against John Jones and just get melted. So it's hard to say Anthony Smith, is going to win, but I absolutely believe he has a chance. And the thing that bothers me is I don't care if you lose a couple rounds like Smith did to Ozdemir. It's the Rashad Evans win. He fought a Rashad Evans who was nowhere near the Rashad Evans that he once was, and he gets credit for beating a former champion. The Shogun fight, that was big. That's his biggest win. Shogun is no joke still. And, getting that win is huge, and beating Ozdemir on top of that definitely means that Anthony Smith is the guy John Jones should be fighting. I wrote an article last week about why I thought that John Jones is making such a wise decision to fight Anthony Smith. And it's because I believe that fighting him first rather than John Jones pursuing some super fight, some big money fight with Brock Lesnar, some trilogy garbage with Cormier that I can't believe anybody's interested in, or whatever. I think it brings integrity back to the light heavyweight division. I think he needs to re-solidify himself as a light heavyweight champion. The only way to do that is to run through whoever he has to face and, just do it. So Anthony Smith definitely has a chance. Anybody in the octagon has a chance. But it's all going to come down to Anthony Smith takedown defense, his wrestling ability, and his ability to get up if John Jones is on top of him. His ability to turn over, get up, and not take the beating that we saw Gustafsson take when Gustafsson went down.
So another fight I want to talk about before we get off, and a lot of people, it's kind of flying under the radar a little bit because we're getting so many announcements, is Holly Holm Aspen Ladd. Now, Holly Holm, in my opinion, and I said this on a few podcast a couple of days ago, or after Cyborg got knocked out by Nunes, the only thing left for Amanda Nunes is Holly Holm. That's it. Like, if you think about it, she beat Miesha Tate, she beat Ronda, she beat Cyborg, she's beat everybody. The only person, Shevchenko, everybody. The only person who she's not even fought yet is Holly Holm. So if Holly gets by Aspen Ladd, I think that you have to do the Holly Holm Amanda Nunes fight. So this is a huge fight for Holly.
Yeah, and I think she will get past Aspen Ladd. I'm a big believer in Holly Holm. My problem is I don't think often that she strikes hard enough with her fists. Like, her power isn't comparable to Amanda Nunes or Chris Cyborg. It was enough to get rid of Rousey, which was a great thing for the sport. Rousey needed to go. But I really think that there are other fights for Amanda Nunes, including Shevchenko, despite the fact that she's beat Shevchenko twice, because in the second fight, I think Shevchenko won that fight. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. So I think for Nunes, there's Shevchenko, there's Holly Holm, and you could argue Kat Zingano, because Kat Zingano beat Amanda Nunes all those years ago. So there's interest there. There's that whole mystique of, oh, wow, she beat her, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was, so maybe she can beat her again. And, depending on how her eye heals, Zingano's eye heals and all that stuff, and how 2019 works out, I think that's possible. So I really think there's at least 3 fights, and possibly the Cyborg rematch, despite the fact that it's not warranted. As we've seen before, the UFC will set it up regardless.
Yeah, I've got Holly winning that too. So hopefully, and I'm a big Holly fan. I'm a huge Holly fan.
Amari Cooper just scored.
Oh, touchdown Cowboys. Well, man,
yep.
I'm going to get in there and watch it, man. I appreciate you coming on with my reveal episode, showing my logo. And I'll upload it, of course, like always, and tag you in it. And we'll figure out just these little minute details, and we'll figure all this shit out and get this going.
Oh, absolutely. This week we'll walk through it together, and we'll figure it out. We'll actually be on video.
Yeah, because we're going, one's working with a laptop, one's working with a phone, but we'll figure it all out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate you having me on. I love the work you do, and it's a great pleasure to be on again. I appreciate how many times you've had me on.
Yeah, man, don't ever think I'm gonna flake out on you and abandon you. No, if I don't answer, or if something ain't going on, I'm probably sleeping or didn't see it or something. I'm very good with answering people, especially friends.
Oh no, absolutely, and I apologize for any miscommunication.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. But man,
All right, man.
let's go enjoy this game. Go Cowboys!
Absolutely go Cowboys. And I tell you what, best to you and your wife and your family. The logo looks great, and we will talk soon.
Yes, man. Thank you so much, and you have a good rest of the night.
All right, talk to you later, man.
Hope you guys enjoyed this Smoke Break MMA reveal episode. Do you guys love it as much as I do? I love it. Let me show it to y'all. This way. I mean, the detail. I'm gonna get in close. And like, she did the shading with a pencil and a paper towel. Like, took a paper towel, you know, and smudged it. I mean, look at the detail in the teeth. I'm blown away by it. I absolutely love it. But guys, this is Hank with another episode of Smoke Break MMA. Take it easy, guys.